tell me about this dangerous place.
Yeah, so I spent a year working in Mogadishu, Somalia, which most associate Somalia and Mogadishu with Black Hawk Down or the Captain Phillips movie, the pirate issues.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
But yeah, it's the fact that I ended up there is random, but not quite as random as it might initially seem. One of the things that I had done while in Nashville pursuing music was work with a Somali family of refugees. And it had always been really important to me to get off of Music Row and out of the bubble that is just going into these sterile writing rooms and writing. It's easy to do at first, but then it's like I just missed real life experience, and once you become an artist or you become a singer and that becomes your identity, everybody relates to you through that mode. And sometimes it's just nice to relate to people not in that mode, in more of a normal way. So I really wanted to find that, and I found it with a Somali refugee family that I worked with and watched the kids grow up and sort of became a big sister to them more than anything, and just loved them. They were extremely entertaining, full of personality.
What was that?
Ikala! 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 Do something cute. Ikala! 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 Ikala!
It was a hoot. And so when I started to get my resume out into the global national security realm, through a friend of a friend, was introduced to someone that was running a police program through the State Department's Counterterrorism Bureau. And so my resume makes it to this individual, and there's actually a job opening for a report writer. He says, it's super unconventional. It makes no sense. But if she's able to write songs for a living, she can certainly write reports for the State Department about what is happening on the ground day to day, if she's willing to come to Somalia. It seems crazy because it's still a very dangerous place with a very active terrorist presence there. But I think you only get a few moments in your life of just complete and total peace and clarity about direction. And I feel like I had it, and I just knew that I had to go. It felt like working with that Somali family, writing, loving to tell people's stories. It just felt like it was a big neon arrow pointing, go, just go. And I needed a break. I needed a break from music. I was feeling burned out and saddened by how, the music business had gone. So I went.
We're boarding our flight on African Express from Mogadishu.
Please fasten your seatbelts, sit back, and enjoy the flight. Just kidding, there are no seatbelts.
Oh, God.
So anyway, so the company that I worked for, they wanted me to do some hosting as well. And obviously I'd done a lot of, events and worked with the public. And so it was a natural fit. And at one point I'm hosting a group of Ugandan dignitaries and generals and government officials. And something comes up about me being a country singer. A few of them light up. And they're like, "You sing country music?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And they're like, "Can you please sing some country music for us? And specifically, we'd like to hear Kenny Rogers, The Gambler." And I'm like, "They know The Gambler in Uganda? Really?" I was shocked. And so I'm like, "Of course." And so I pull The Gambler up and I play it for them. And they start to sing along with me. They sing every word of The Gambler. And in that moment, there were no differences at all in any of us. And just the exuberance and all the people singing together, it just hit me that this is as good, if not way better, than singing to a stadium full of people, because I got to participate in a moment where I see the transcendence of music and art. And the coolest part is that it's country music. It's a story about, you got to know when to hold them, you know, coming from people with a completely different life experience, but really not at all. It's exactly the same as mine.
Hands for Nelson.
All right, Nelson, this one's yours.
Thank you.
Go Poro. Que agarra segunda.
3 days past 18, he was waiting for the bus in his army green. Sat down in a booth in a cafe there, gave his order to a girl with a bow in her hair.
Somalia is in such a state where, you know, at one point with the Civil War, it was totally, you know, it was total anarchy in Somalia, and things are definitely better and a lot of progress has been made. But sectors of the country have been given, in a sense, or their security has been made the responsibility of other African countries. And it's a group called AMISOM. Okay, so AMISOM is the African Union mission to Somalia, in Somalia. Several countries like Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia contribute troops to help with the security. And so they will own a piece of Somali real estate, in a sense. The Ugandans were responsible for most of Mogadishu. A lot of the peace that, if you can find peace in Somalia, a lot of it is because of the Ugandans, and they've shed a lot of blood in Somalia trying to create stability so that the Somalis can take over and create, you know, their own government.
Father was injured also.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
So is that the badge of honor? Everybody has to be injured?
Yeah.
Number 1, sir. Number 1, first time.
Oh,
number
first.
2, number 3, number 4.
And even yesterday, new guy was.
No more number 5.
Service number 5. Service yesterday.
We lost 4 guys.
You know, just the words of that song, you know, from those 2 guys on the train together. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. It just takes on, it's such a deeper meaning, and it's very moving, you know. And then to find happiness while everybody's singing along together, it was just a really special moment. And it was ironic because the conventional wisdom in Nashville is you cannot have a plan B. It's not respected if you do anything but music. And it's a badge of honor that you're a starving artist and all you do is, you know, eat, sleep, and breathe music. And I respect that too. But the irony was that it was leaving and doing what I had been told would be a death knell for my career and going to Somalia to start a new career that I actually kind of found my way back to music and realized why I love music and why I want to tell stories through music. So Somalia was so many seasons and so many things and times. It was a time to weep, and a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to laugh, a time for war, and a time for peace. And a time to love, and a time to hate. So I found a lot of things in Somalia, not the least of which was the love of my life.
There is power, wonder working power in the in the precious blood of the Lamb. There is love, there is love, love, wonder-working love. In the precious blood of the Lamb. Oh, there is love, love, wonder-working love. In the precious blood of the Lamb.
Enjoy your view. You saw my six-pack?
The six-pack is fantastic. The six-pack is fantastic.
Okay.